With the exception of monstrous people like Tom Haviland, like my build is not conducive for this, you know? Do you pay them? Yes, I do. I do pay them. But in any case, that's it. That's neither here nor there. That's all we got for today. For my own personal news, we're so much to discuss, obviously. So I'm gonna get right into it. So let's blast off and let's do it. Let's do it. Where was I? What was I gonna say? Wait, can smaller people lift more? Relative to their body. Relative to their body weight. It's just copium, I think. It's just copium. It's just copium. It's just copium. All right. Trump hits the panic can button and reverses tariffs for some. Is Tim Pool dick riding Israel? We'll talk about that as well, obviously. That's a fucking fantastic story that everyone is like ripping into Tim. Old Timmy boy, old Timmy two-time, okay? Old Timmy two-time. He found a new country that he can dick ride. Maybe for some financial gain. You know what I mean? Old Timmy cuck. Trump is getting cucked. Timmy's getting cucked. Everyone's getting cucked out here. What's happening to the America First movement, man? Parkland Grendo, stop donating money. I can't see the thing that you're sending me. Just write it in the chat. There's no reason for you to pay to write a tiny thing on the corner of the stream. I can't see it, and it goes by too fast. Okay. Market madness continues. On later to explain away what's happening. Israel's PR is in the pooper. Why is Tim Pool dick riding Israel? Get in now. When are we getting gaming on the stream again? Schedule 1 looks awesome. I don't know. Israel first immigration policy? Wait, what? Israel first immigration policy? Oh, I saw that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For anti all right, there's a lot going on. Chat, I spent all my money buying the dip on gaming stocks. Yeah, good luck. Bro's politics locked 7 days a week again. Shaking my head. Okay, listen to me, all right? There's a lot going on in the world, and if I don't talk about this shit, then the market is going to be flooded by doo-doo head motherfuckers who don't know what the hell they're talking about. Is that what you want? You want people who are oblivious to reality? You want people who are just not knowledgeable to be talking about this shit because they're talking about it? You need someone to make sense of the senseless. I'm out here for you. I don't want to talk about politics all day, every day. I don't. I mean, I love politics, but like, I get politicked out. I get politicked out all the goddamn time. Okay, you need to understand something. I wanna go back to a more balanced schedule. I want to go and do fun stuff. I want to go and play video games with friends. You know what I mean? I want to do all that, but there's just like too much happening. All right. Anyway, breaking news. Donald Trump has announced a 90-day pause on reciprocal tariffs, increasing the tariffs on China to 125% in the escalating trade war. We're going to get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're blasting off, by the way. Here it is. Here's the blast off meme. Here's the blast off tweet. Get into it. Pump it. Pump it. Pump these stocks like you're pumping the stonks after Donald Trump gave a moment of clarity and a moment of breathing room to the global markets for a second. Paula ticked off. Yeah, I am. You call it politics. I call it politics. Dale. Dale. ICE director envisions Amazon like mass deportation system Prime, but with human beings. Ugh, gross. Paula dick down. Yeah, that's right. I want/need to hear it, but yelling gives me a headache. YouTube recommended me Kai Puppy videos, and it was a great way to start the day. Yeah, I mean, it's a great way for me to start the day as well by hanging out with my lovely little lady and playing with her. And that's the reason why I can stay a little bit more sane. Oh, okay. Lower the volume. Yeah, exactly. Chatter. Lower your goddamn volume. Okay. Lower the goddamn volume. All right. Let's do it. Let's get into it. Have you seen the U.S. Treasury bond yield going straight up? The CCP starting an offloading process. Inflation going to skyrocket if this continues. Yes, we're going to talk about all that boring shit. That's actually quite important because last night I changed some of my attitude. And Donald Trump backing away from the tariff strategy that he posted also only reconfirmed the suspicion that I had. There is a method to this madness. A couple days ago, I showed you Trump's chief advisor, one of the most consequential, one of the most influential people in the administration, and his 5-point bullet plan that he had posted. Okay, if you recall. And I said to you back then, this is the real thing. This is what they're trying to do. Don't listen to any of the other noise. What was his name? I'm forgetting now. I keep forgetting his name, but it's not Bessent. It's not Lutnick. It's not Navarro. There is another guy. Okay. You're signing Stephen Moran. That is the name of the dude. Thank you, chatter. Stephen Moran. That is who we are talking about. Okay. Hold on. Stephen Moran came out with a 5-point plan. Okay. Now, that's I told you this. The CEA chairman Stephen Moran had a 5-point plan, and he gave his remarks at the Husson Institute. I think he wrote a paper a couple years prior to this. A couple years prior to this. So you've come around to the Giannis view. Yes, to a certain degree. Okay. Giannis Varoufakis, out of all of the analysts out there, of all of the economists out there, was probably one of the only ones that identified that there was a secondary purpose for the deficit war that Donald Trump wanted to engage in, and he was right. What he was right about was obviously devaluing U.S. currency. A lot of people did not recognize that that was what Donald Trump wanted to do. He was one of the only people out there that said Donald Trump wants to devalue U.S. currency. The reason why Donald Trump wants to devalue U.S. currency is because when U.S. currency is too high as in comparison to other currencies, then you are going to have an import economy. You're not going to have an export economy. You're going to have a fat trade deficit, and slowly but surely over year, you're just not going to manufacture stuff here anymore, because even if you were manufacturing goods that other countries would want, it's far too costly for them to purchase those goods, because the reality of the matter is the dollar is way more powerful. The dollar is way more powerful than any other currency. Part of the way that countries do this is by, purchasing dollars. Okay. That is one of the ways that they engage in, I guess some might call it currency manipulation, but I don't think it is. But some of the other ways in which you do this is also by making your manufacturing, specifically your labor, as devalued as possible, as cheap as possible, so you become a exporter or you maintain your manufacturing capabilities. Germany has done this through the euro, and every other country has basically done a version of this. And that's what Donald Trump claims is cheating. Now, a lot of these concepts, I'm going to be switching and using some terminology fast and loose. A lot of these concepts that Donald Trump is claiming is happening, where he says is cheating, is not cheating. It's a system that we designed. We're the United States of America. This is literally what we designed. We wanted these other countries to actually serve us and in many circumstances basically rely on slave labor to be able to get cheap, accessible commodities, okay? Cheap, affordable commodities. We designed it this way. We built the entire global financial system this way, and we accelerated it after, removing the gold standard. This was, there were multiple market shocks in the process, but this is our thing. This is our thing. This is our grand design. And now Donald Trump is saying, I don't like this grand design. It's been cooking America's manufacturing capabilities. Now, of course, he doesn't care about the labor aspect of it. That's just a way to promote it to the working class, to be like, no, we're going to bring manufacturing jobs back here. It's going to be great. That is just the seasoning. The real thing that Donald Trump cares about, on the other hand, is manufacturing. Because manufacturing does not exist in the United States of America, and that we are over-reliant on China and also secondary markets that China has created, Donald Trump sees this, as well as Barack Obama did, as well as Joe Biden did, as well as every other American government leadership did, every other American administration did, as a massive national security concern. That's what the problem is. That's what they want to do. The trade surplus or the trade deficit issue is simply America's not manufacturing shit because American currency is too expensive. And also simultaneously, this is a major threat because if China were to fucking one day, we want to go to war with China, one day they just shut off the faucet of manufacturing, we're cooked. We're left out with our dicks out, pissing against the wind. So that's precisely the reason why America cares about moving manufacturing back to the United States. It's a matter of national security. It has nothing to do with fucking labor. It has nothing to do with good paying jobs. It has nothing to do with anything. Okay? And a part of that process means you have to get other countries by force to devalue the US dollar against their currency. You have to make their currency purchasing power higher. Okay? That is part of what Yanis Varoufakis was claiming, because you can't do that. If you don't do that, you can't get any manufacturing. You can't fix your trade fucking deficit because these countries don't have money to purchase American-made products. So, on that aspect, there is a method to the madness, okay? Hudson Bay Capital paper written by, in November 2024, by the way, this is the method, this is the madness. Stephen Moran wrote about it in November 2024, a user's guide to restructuring the global trading system. This is the blueprint. Do not listen to Peter Navarro. Do not listen to fucking Howard Lutnick. Do not listen to Scott Bessent. Do not listen to any of these other guys. Don't listen to Donald Trump. This is the guy. This is the blueprint. This is the method. And they're following it to a T, okay? And don't listen to Ron Vera either. Ron Vera. Okay, maybe you can listen to Ron Vera. That's kind of funny. And I mentioned this before. I told you all about, this being the 5-point plan. And it seems like last night's initiative starting off with Chinese market moves that took place is moving the United States in that direction, which means there's going to be massive instability and America is going to become a poorer nation overall. America's purchasing power is going to lower overall in the interim. So I think Donald Trump is burning the candle from both ends and cooking the United States of America. And I will tell you exactly why, while the initiative and the 5-point plan that they've designed is insane, selfish, it's also short-sighted and will lead to economic turmoil. Okay? I don't think that Donald Trump is going to be able to get his desires across and instead is going to fuck this up. Don't listen to them, but they're using what you're saying to listen to. Wait, what? No, I'm saying that if you listen to Howard Lutnick or Scott Bessent or Donald Trump, you are going to be confused because the real thing that they are, the real guiding principle behind what they are trying to do, the actual moves that they're making right now are written by this guy, Stephen Moran. Now, let's get started with the stock surge as Trump announces 90-day pause on some tariffs, and then I will get back to what I'm talking about as well, okay?
This is an ABC.
Also, 125% tariff on China is irrelevant, okay? Because once you hit like 30% tariffs or 40% tariffs on China, it's over, okay? You've already severed ties with China in terms of trade. The difference between 85% tariffs on China and 125% tariffs on China is nothing. It is negligible. The reason why it's negligible is because you've already maxed out on the tariffs. You've already severed ties. Ain't nobody is going, I desperately need this thing from China. I'm going to go and fucking get it. And now I'm going to have to pay extra. Like, it's just not a thing, okay? It's functionally a trade embargo. You know, you might as well say we're going to put 1,000,000% tariff on China. It's done. You are enforcing a trade embargo by way of tariffs.
News.
More than 75 countries have reached out to the U.S. to negotiate. He is putting a 90-day pause on most other tariffs. I want to bring in our ABC senior political correspondent Rachel Scott at the White House, where we just heard from the press secretary and the Treasury Secretary.
Where was I? Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. Tariffs on pause. Donald Trump pulled back this morning. While the tariffs were coming undone, I, on the other hand, was packing my shit up. That's right. Packing my freaking shit up. And by that, I mean getting brolic as a monster. Okay? Donald Trump also last night said, be cool. It's a stick up. Be cool. Always a sign of confidence. Here's a photo of me and Zoran. Here is some fun words from the Chinese social media. But this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is me, your boy, hitting 230 pounds for 8 and a clean 7. On the 8th one, maybe it's a little bit too rough. Look at that. Go the distance every time. Look at that. God damn, my titties are out of control, dude. Look. Woo! Ooh! Ooh! On the last one, my ass flew off the bench, which is not good. But honestly, we'll take those. We'll take those. We'll take those. We'll take those. 230 for 8 is pretty good. Pretty big deal for me. Okay, let me tell you. Obviously, it's nowhere near my lifetime PR, but it doesn't matter. I'm getting back to it, so I'm actually kind of happy about it. Like, remember, a year ago, I could not do any flat bench press on the barbell because it would fuck my shoulders up. And now my shoulder stability is out of control. It's too stable. People are saying it might be the most stable shoulders in the United States of America. Okay. Your trainer's body is insane. Yeah, of course. I mean, he is a trainer, but it was fantastic. I'm very excited about that. And that is actually after I expended a lot of energy doing big squats. Not the biggest squats, but 308 for a clean 6 on my top set. Like, not the best. I will admit I should be putting up significantly higher weight on my squats, and I should be putting up significantly higher weights on my bench press as well. But this is after. This is coming after I did the squats as well. So I'm pretty happy with it. It's always a good day when I get to outlift my trainers, even though they're obviously like almost 100 pounds lighter than me, but it's still. So yeah, that's my. Thanks for setting up features today. Does the team help you book that stuff, or is it all done personally? You don't want to know the answer. The answer is I do it myself. Yes, I do it myself. Do you use minoxidil with finasteride? Yes. Only 308. You got to bump those numbers up. Cutie, you should be able to do way more. Okay, shut the fuck up. I know. Like, you don't have a 6'4" frame, okay? I'm trying to overcome my genetics, and you're over here talking shit. 308 for 6 is a great set. You're stronger than the majority of people at the gym. I know, but that's not. I'm adjusting my strength to where I should be. And as someone who's my size, I'm thinking about my relative strength to my weight. And my relative strength to my weight is obviously not great. Um, but anyway, do you have a PT or are you making your workout plan solo? No, I have a personal trainer. Yes, I have two friends who are also my personal trainers. You saw one of them spotting me in that last one. So 6'5" guy, I feel your pain. Ape Index got us out here suffering. Yeah, dudes will be like 5'6", and we'll be like, I don't understand. Like, why can't you lift a lot more? It's like, yeah, dude, because my build is not